What if addiction isn't about the drug, but about the life someone wakes up to every day? In the late 1970s, psychologist Bruce K. Alexander at Simon Fraser University in British Columbia built Rat Park, a large social enclosure with tunnels, wheels, nesting boxes, and dozens of companion rats. He asked a simple question: would rats with a real life still choose morphine if plain water was an option? In standard studies, isolated rats in small metal cages were given morphine-laced water and drank heavily. Alexander repeated the choice test in 2 settings. Both isolated and park rats had 2 bottles, one plain and one sweetened with morphine to mask bitterness. The isolated rats consumed a lot of the drug solution. The rats in Rat Park mostly did not. In follow-ups, some rats made dependent in isolation reduced their morphine use after being moved into the enriched park. Those results are striking, but they are not a fairy tale. Alexander's work had limits. Groups were sometimes small, oral morphine tastes differently than injected drugs, and later direct replications produced mixed results. Strain differences, dose, route of administration, and measurement choices affect outcomes. Still, the bigger pattern shows up across decades. Social isolation, stress, and barren environments raise vulnerability to drug seeking, while social contact and environmental enrichment often reduce it. Modern labs now use controlled choice tests where animals can pick social interaction over a drug, and many of those studies find social reward competes with drug reward. Rat Park changed the question researchers ask. Instead of only asking how molecules hijack the brain, it asks what makes a drug worth choosing in the first place. Biology, trauma, genes, and neurochemistry all matter, but context shifts how those factors play out. If loneliness, lack of purpose, poverty, and chronic stress push creatures toward chemical escape, then real solutions must include rebuilding connection, safety, and meaning alongside medical care. Rat Park did not solve addiction. It complicated it, and that complication is valuable. It forced scientists to admit behavior doesn't happen in a vacuum. Where people live, who they know, and whether life offers alternatives all shape choices about drugs. That is a hard, useful truth that still shapes research and policy discussions today. Notably, when dependent rats moved from isolation into Rat Park, many sharply reduced morphine use despite mild withdrawal. Later studies used social choice tests where animals often picked company over a drug, reinforcing that meaningful alternatives can compete with chemical rewards. For policy, this points to harm reduction, stable housing, and rebuilding social ties as practical parts of addressing addiction. If you want more slow, strange dives into experiments that quietly force us to rethink human nature, subscribe to Vivarium, like this video, and follow for the next excavation from the archives.